Welcome to the Reyes Podcast. I am your host, Eric Reyes, Executive Director of Reyes Events. This podcast focuses on business, creativity, and cultural. We highlight the stories and the people behind unforgettable moments. Joining me today are Jasmine and Ruben, who are part of the Reyes team and bring their perspective and experience to every conversation. We are also excited to welcome our special guest, Pedro from Pedrosanchezfotografia. Pedro is a talented photographer and business owner who captures beautiful moments and tells powerful stories through his photos and video. So, welcome, Pedro.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Reyes Events, for hosting me, and I'm excited. I'm excited to start.
Yeah, no, we're excited to have you and just have a conversation and talk a little bit about your work and stuff like that.
Okay, Pedro, before we get into business, please tell us a little bit about yourself. That way that way we can get to know you a little bit more, and so can the audience. That way we can see what your background is a little bit. Like, for example, how did photography come into your life? Like, that's something we would like to know.
Yeah, I do video production and photography, mostly for quinceañeras. I do a lot of weddings as well, a lot of civil weddings. I've lately been doing a lot of bautismos too. And then I've also been getting into the real estate industry.
It's big, it's big. When they see you set up the camera and do the photographs.
The photography of the house, it's very popular to get the aerial shots now, so that's kind of getting going too.
That's cool. Do you do the 3D thing too as well, where you put that? Have you seen that? I've seen that before.
There's a lot of realtors that ask me about that. There's you can use your phone now, but usually you have to buy this specific 3D modeling gear where you have to set it up in different rooms and then it scans the whole thing.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's a big business in LA. My brother does a bunch of landscaping, and then they do that. It pays really good too. But anyways, getting back into topic. At what point did you notice that photography was more of a I'm imagining that you used to do it for hobby, mm-hmm. and then you transferred over to business. At what point did you notice that transition?
So I originally started making a lot of music videos. I did a lot of artists in Washington. That kind of picked up in around high school, my freshman, sophomore year. I've noticed that video editing, there was a very it was introduced fairly new in the industry, at least for my age group, around 2018, 2019. And I noticed that not a lot of people knew how to do video editing or do operate gimbals and all that. So I started with music videos, and then I noticed that one of my tios contracted me to do her my cousin's quinceañera. Mm-hmm. That was a trial. I charged them very, very low amount just because I wanted to get the experience. I loved it. I loved the food. I loved the energy. I loved just how all the families came together and danced. I thought it was a beautiful thing. After doing that, I kind of pursued, kind of steered away from music videos and kind of doing a whole. There wasn't that much money being made. I was making good money in high school doing music videos. I would skip a lot of school to go do videos.
Do music, yeah. Really? Any big artists that you can plug from Seattle?
I actually worked with
Dr. Dre.
No, I worked with Mosey's team a little bit. I never got really to do a actual video for him. Uh-huh. But I got in touch with their people, their camera guys. I did go to Calabasas, and I actually met some bigger artists like Polo G and Trippie Redd. Yeah, those were pretty cool. Way. Got to meet them. I actually shot one for Trippie Redd's artist that he signed. I shot a video. But I think those are the bigger names. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You gotta think of it, during that time there was more of a want for video editing, because you got a lot of the SoundCloud rappers, mm-hmm. and a lot of those artists that were upcoming during that time.
2018, right?
Yeah, that was
so that was
Yeah, there was a lot of rappers.
A lot of the homemade videos versus they're more natural now, versus like you have to create a set and this is how it's gonna be.
Exactly.
So I think that's it's
kinda
more flows.
Touching on that point too, it was very saturated. Like once I started getting into it, because there was a lot of people doing it, and a lot of people buying cameras, and less and less was invested in like studios and actually sets and all that. So that's when I kind of steered towards more of documenting like events and weddings and quinceañeras specifically, because I noticed there was a huge market for it. There was really big, and as soon as I started that, it was only a couple months I was into it, and I was already getting people calling me like saying like, oh, we saw you at your tío's, like would you be able to do ours? And at the time I didn't really charge appropriately, but obviously learn once you get into it a little bit, and then there was just so much business that I just kept at it.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's good that you started off with an explosion of because not a lot of people start off like that. Some people, it takes a couple years for them to build their clientele and all that. So I'm glad that you were able to build up, and also your quality of work, right? Like it shows. People know, they see, they're able to. People are not dumb, they're able to see like the differences between quality and not, but yeah.
So for your videos, you said you were introduced in high school more like video editing. So when you're photography, did you do like more self-taught, or did you go for classes?
No, I actually self-taught myself. I started with photography and moved towards video editing. I bought my computer when I was 16. And then ultimately like photography was my main thing at first. It was just all YouTube, really.
Okay.
Like, I encourage people, like, if you guys want to learn about any, like, literally you can learn off of YouTube, go on websites, take courses on there, buy people's packages.
For the low price of $1,000, pay my guy. Les enseña por 4 horas. No, that's good. And once you get into the actual gear and all that, I would imagine that it can get pretty expensive, right? Upgrading and all that. Is there like differences between like the gear that you started off with compared to with the gear that you have now?
What I say is you pay for what you get. If you cheap out on stuff, you're gonna get a cheap quality. But yeah, there is specific brands that you wanna. It is more expensive, but all in all, the final result is better rather than having to deal with something cheaper and have it break on you in a couple years. You can also buy. If you buy something expensive, it'll usually last longer and give you better quality too.
That's true.
With the like learning and that curve, right? Like running a business and marketing and stuff like that. What are some challenges you have faced so far?
I think the most challenging thing I faced is kind of being able to document an event for hours and hours, like getting all that memory and having a good system like a computer to actually export all that stuff. I think that's been the most challenging, because when you're like dealing with a lot of footage, stuff can go wrong. I've had instances before where I have lost some stuff because I didn't have the proper gear, like made the SD cards. I buy more expensive ones now, but I used to use kind of cheaper ones, and it was such a bad feeling when you lose people's like stuff, and you don't know what to say, and you sound unprofessional.
Did they like take it well, or were they like?
Yeah, they took it well just because they understood that I was still in the process of learning, and I didn't charge super expensive, but like those moments, they don't get back. I did get the like photography stuff, all the photos and stuff, but the video is what really like.
Was it a wedding or what was it?
It was a quinceañera too.
Quinceañera,
damn. Yeah, that was a long time ago, and I definitely learned from it.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Never happen again.
It's true though.
Have you had any other experiences? Like, for example, for us, when we're at the quinceañeras, as the choreographers, sometimes there's something wrong with like the DJ or the way that they play the music that's out of our control, or something happens and we're like, we need to like think on our feet. Has there been something like that with you, where either your lens or something where you're either in the middle of, like you mentioned about the memory, but is there any other like stories that you could share in regards, like in the moment that you have to like think on your feet as you're like documenting this, right, where people are contracting you to have memories, right? But has there been like a situation where you've been at the event and something happens and you're like, okay, Pedro, think right now, quick, react?
There's been a lot of venues that I've shot at that are very limited in space.
Okay.
So yeah, there has been times where I bring my whole setup, my big setup. I like to bring more cameras to get different angles, but sometimes I have to disassemble the stuff for me to be able to actually move around and get the shots that I want to get. So there has been that, like, where I have to disassemble my gear, make it smaller. Same with usually DJs like to do lasers.
Okay.
Very bad for your camera.
Oh, if
very
it
bad.
points, it can get fried, right?
I've gone to through two cameras already where it like fries the sensor. It just makes these like really noticeable red spots on the sensor, and then ultimately like that camera's bad until you replace the sensor, but that's super expensive to do. That's basically like buying another camera.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the
the lasers, and then audio, like usually they have their mics, the DJs, to give to people to talk, and I always try to warn them or give them like a heads up in the beginning before we start documenting. Like I like to do test runs before, but sometimes that doesn't happen. I usually just end up kind of turning off my mics on my stabilizers, and then just keeping one kind of more far out, because I do still need to capture the audio. But yeah, I think those are the three most.
Okay. How's your communication with like other providers, right? So for example, also when we're like you mentioned, some of the things that have happened, right? How do they take like that feedback? For example, when we like the fog, right? The fog looks amazing, like the ice one. I'm sure it photographs really nice. For us, it's a nightmare because it leaves the dance floor
wet.
So that's a safety concern. I'm like, they're gonna dance the walls. Y se van a caer. And I want to go viral because the choreography was good, not because my client fell. Right? But still, it's always good when we go viral. But I'm still gonna post it on social media. But for us, we tend to talk to the families about that, right? And sometimes they don't listen. They're like, well. But then, like, how do you handle like those conversations with clients, or even with like the DJs, right? Where they might not understand that piece, but you're like, hey, that go like my equipment or something like that.
I fill everyone in, like the lasers, for instance. Like I tell them like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to move around. Like I try to inform everybody that way. Like when I do finalize and edit everything and give it to them, and if they say something, I'll remind them like, hey, I mentioned it the day of. This is why it doesn't look like these videos, because I told you the lasers affect my cameras. So yeah, I try to keep everyone in touch. I'm always moving around. Like if you ever see me in events, I'm always moving everywhere, talking to everybody, all the DJs. There is instances where sometimes people don't take me seriously because of my age. Like I feel like they're just like, oh, this is just a young kid, like he doesn't know. But you know, I just try to communicate well, but sometimes they just kind of just goes over their head. Like
Trust me, we get that. We all the time, we're like one of like still younger choreographies, you know, compared to other choreographers like who are like younger in age, and we get that a lot. Like sometimes I feel like they think that they don't know what we're saying, and then it happens what we told them was gonna happen. They're like, oh, we should have listened to you. And I'm like, we've been doing this for 15 years. Like I know. Trust me, when I'm telling you something, it's not because I want to change something. I'm letting you know because I want to make sure that your event goes really well and stuff like that. Pedro, what makes a quinceañera different from other events that you have photographed?
Specifically, quinceañeras are just like as in like just weddings.
Yeah, like why? Wait, I know you talked about it at the beginning a little, that, you know, the family piece and just the environment, but why focus mostly in quinceañeras? I know you mentioned you do quinceañeras and other things, but why the quinceañera industry? And what makes a quinceañera different from a wedding? Because maybe somebody, an outsider, might be like, es lo mismo, a mi tío lo puede hacer, you know? But it is, you have to have technique and stuff like that and understanding, like many factors.
I feel like I connect with the younger generation more. I think, all in all, I think quinceañeras are fun to do because of how colorful everything is and how different and unique. You have all these family members that come to see the growth of child. I like to film those events because everything just looks so like magical on camera. It looks so pretty. The energy usually is there. There's cases where kind of there's ungrateful people, but
we get that.
yeah. But all in all, it's beautiful. Like I've always liked the different type of things they do. There's different family origins. So like there's not just kind of the Mexicanos that I know or Latinos that I know. There's just multiple different type of family types, and I like to say I always learn from different events. So it's always something new. There's always either different food, different like cultures, different dances. So it's always like something different when I go and do stuff.
So, because you're saying a little bit about different cultures, do you notice a difference between like a Latino culture versus like I want to say more Americanized culture, or just a different culture in general and their communities?
Like for instance, Salvadorian and like people from Mexico, Mexicanos, totally different vibe.
Party.
Party. I noticed same like with religion. Some are not as religious, and some are super religious. Some have church events, the church ceremony or the church part in the morning. Some don't. And then, that's really the three. Yeah, the culturals. I think that's the different parts.
Who's your favorite to work with? The Mexicano?
My favorite. I generally.
He just
really
likes
like to do all
quinceañeras
of
in
them.
general.
O sea, mientras que me den de comer.
What's the best food? Yeah, food. Like
I think that's the good part.
Mientras que me den de comer and all of that.
yeah.
Es lo que importa. That piece, right, which we love too. And I think the environment, it's fun being in a quinceañeras and stuff like that. I don't know about you, but for example, with us, we get a lot of the families who are mixed, where one parent speaks only English and one like Spanish. So we didn't realize that was a need, because they will come to us and tell us like, oh, you guys are bilingual. Do you get those a lot, where you're like bilingual?
Yeah,
And that's like a benefit, right?
Yeah, it's so much. Like there's people that contract me just because I speak English good with the children and all that. Like I've heard they do consultations with other people, and they can talk English, but it's not very good. Where the point where the girl feels comfortable talking to him. So it helps a lot. Like there's always mixed families, and they always have friends that come, like family friends, and they just speak English, and it's like I can communicate so well with them.
Yeah, no, we have realized that.
Yeah, I think that's another thing we kind of have in common, because we're still young, that we relate to them as well, and they have fun. They don't feel awkward. So even during when we do like the intake or the contract signing, most of the time they're very comfortable talking to us and like what they want in specific and explaining their dreams of choreography. So I think that's very important too, to have a connection with your photographer, because we've heard kids say, well, I didn't like the photographer and
I couldn't communicate with them, or they couldn't get my vision, or just they don't speak the same language that I speak, and I'm just there awkwardly. So I think it's very important, and that's definitely like a plus.
Yeah, usually they contact me and they text me in Spanish, and they call me and I talk to them in Spanish, and then when they actually meet me in person, and I tell them like, hey, I can talk to your child in English if that's preferred. They're usually like, oh, that's awesome, like that's perfect.
Preferable.
Yeah.
That's cool. Anyways, moving on. Let's say somebody wants to start off and start doing, pursuing photography and all that. What is some advice that you would have, since you obviously gone through so many cameras, you've done, been doing this for how many years now?
I started back in 2021, video stuff, 2017, with quinceañeras back 2021. So it's been 4.
So what suggestions would you have for that viewer or whatever that's maybe wants to get started or, get into the world, what would be like a easy way for them to ease in? Or would you just kind of tell them, hey, save up as much as you can and get this type of gear?
I recommend people to use social media to their advantage. Like if there's something that you are super interested in, go on people's social media pages, follow those people, look at their stories, because there's a lot of people that post behind the scenes that you can learn from. So use Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, really anything that people post on social media, because the more you, because it's an algorithm, so the more the app sees that you watch, it'll show you more and keep showing you more. I feel like that's where I learned a lot from when I started quinceañeras, because I followed like all these photographers and videographers that do quinceañeras already, and I kind of just got tips from them and seen the different things that they provide and stuff, and that's where I kind of got more familiar with that like industry, the stuff.
Yeah, to do that. Yeah, okay.
You're also very active on social media too, and I think, I don't know, do you get a lot of clients out of like social media?
Yeah, like the response, my response is quick. Like if you message me, I'm there. It is really important to be active on there, because that's where I get most of my business, really, just from off of Facebook.
Yeah, us too. Sometimes people will be calling us and they're like, oh, we saw your work on TikTok and we want to hire you. Sometimes we get people from other states.
Yes.
And they're like, can you travel over here? And I'm like,
we don't travel.
We don't travel. But if you pay us $1 million, I'm just kidding. We'll be there. Or maybe we will go. But definitely like the social media piece that we get a lot, we post a lot. So if you're also thinking of like opening your business and stuff like that, like, use social media
to advantage.
It's a good platform to get your name out there and advertising.
Well, yeah, I feel like a lot of the old school people still don't understand the power of social media. Yeah. Because, like Eric said, we've gotten a lot of clients through TikTok, through Instagram. Facebook, we're kind of still on.
We're there.
Right.
But our biggest
Facebook,
presence.
Yeah, if you guys really want to use Facebook, join Facebook groups. That's where I get my business. Like I joined all the Facebook groups, and then I have people just recommend me, like just because they've contracted me before, and it's crazy. Like I used to just my mom usually just recommended me on these Facebook groups, but now the past quinceañeras that I do, it's like they always just recommend me. So like I have like on the Facebook group, you can comment, tag people, like when they ask, oh, ¿quién hace esto? And then now it's like, you see my name like 4 or 5 times, and it's like, that's where I get my business.
Yeah, it feels good, right? You're like, damn, people like my work. The other thing is that sometimes from one cousin that we did the choreography, we get the rest of the family.
Yeah, exactly.
And for us, is like the hard part. I don't know about photography. I don't know if it's the same thing. We get our clients like, oh, you did my cousin's. My choreography cannot be like hers. I want something different. Yeah. But sometimes it's like 5 cousins within the same year. Yes. So me and Jasmine. Or like the next year. So they all tell us, okay, I don't want it the same as my cousin. So I want the Walton surprise and it's different. And then the hard part is,
the same style.
But they like the same style. So we struggle with that piece. But we do our research. We're like, for right now that we're on winter break and the quinceañera season just ended, we're gonna go back to the dance studio. So we get our technique and start getting new dance moves and stuff like that. Is it the same thing with photography? Like if you did the photo shoot and video for one family, like do you get the cousin saying, oh, I don't want the same background as like my cousin, or is it not?
Usually that comes into play when they're doing the pre-session. Okay. Like the location wise, the university is kind of like, there's a lot of people that go there, so there's like designated spots that I take photos at, but if they have it at the same place, I do kind of show them different spots so they don't get the same print out and the same pose. But as far as like the event, I've never got anyone that says like, oh, I want you video different, because it's like, it's kind of my work that I give. Usually just the pre-session really.
Okay.
So probably it shows there for
Yeah.
photography and stuff like that. For us, it's the choreography. They tell us like we like the work, just could it be different?
Yeah.
And sometimes they're a week,
Yeah.
like different, 1 week or two. And we're like, okay, everybody's gonna be the same cast,
Yeah.
the same people. Sometimes they have the same chambelanes too, and we're like, okay, no pressure, Jasmine. And they all want wapango.
Yeah.
So then me and Jasmine, they were limited on steps, right, because of what the wapango. But we do our research, and at the end, they're like, thank you for not making it the same. It's kind of a little pressure.
Yeah.
But it's all good. Pedro, what's one mistake you wish you had avoided early on?
One mistake. Let me think. One mistake from doing video, photo. I feel like when I exported before, there is like a way where you could export a really big file at a certain, it's like called MP something, but basically I used to export videos, and the video, like the amount of space used to be like 100 some gigabytes on a USB, but I wish I knew how to manage that before, because I used to have to buy these really expensive USBs to give my clients, but now there is a way where you can export that I just recently, like a couple months ago, figured out, where you can export a video and then not like make the file so big. Like now I crunched it down to like it's only like 30-40 gigabytes.
Like it compresses.
Yeah, it like compresses it to make it a lot smaller, and sometimes people's televisions can't play the video off of the USBs.
Damn, it's old ass.
So yeah, like I figured out that way, like where I could put it on USB and any television can play it now. But yeah, I used to spend so much money on USBs, and
you're getting like 128 gigabytes.
yeah, and they used to be expensive because I'd have to buy like the 200 MPS something USBs, and they were like 40, 45, 50 bucks.
Damn.
But now they're cheaper because I can compress the file. I think I wish I knew that before.
Yeah, and it's things that you learn, right, as you go and as you're experienced and learning and stuff like that. You're like, okay, maybe now I've learned that and I could tell other people.
Okay, so from a business perspective, how does staying current with trends and like your gear impact you? So like technology's evolving, like what's something you notice with that?
The impact of trends. I like to get like information. Like I follow these pages that give me more information on like new equipment that releases. I think it's important to follow those trends because a lot of things become like more convenient. Like there is like equipment gets smaller. Sometimes they get even better. Like they last longer. Old equipment sometimes has issues that the new ones don't. So following like the firmware updates and every time like they post on their pages, just stuff like that. For instance, an older camera that I used to have overheated a lot, and I follow these pages that tell me like, oh, we fixed this if you get this camera, that way you don't have that problem. But really, it just helps when like more convenient, like when you kind of do your work. That way you don't have the same issues. Everything flows better. So yeah, I think that's.
So like, even if you have like your older gear, you're just better off buying a new one because essentially you'll waste the same amount of money to try to kind of upgrade that older gear.
Yeah, like you have to buy more attachments and all this and that when you can just realistically spend a little more on something, and then you can just write it off or on your taxes or whatever. Yeah.
Has AI been helpful?
Oh yeah, AI.
Because AI is taking over the world.
I used to have to. I used to have to Photoshop a lot back in the day, like especially like skin stuff. But now AI has a feature where like it literally does it for you. Like you can literally put it into a program and then. Same with editing too. Like they have editing softwares where if you have a bad mic too, their audio, something super loud in the back, you put in an AI software and it like removes that sound and it still keeps like your voice and stuff. Like AI is awesome.
So you're saying if we take a photo, we can cut down a few pounds?
AI is it's
We're gonna be expecting that edit in this video podcast, Pedro. A ver si es cierto. Show us. How would you define your photography style? Like,
my photography style, I like to say, I don't like to do too much Photoshop. Like if my client requests some stuff, I'll do it for them. But I like to shoot natural. Like when I shoot photos in general, like I like to get photos straight out of camera. So like when I do put it into an editing software, there's a little bit color grading, but very minimal. Like I like to get it straight out of the camera. Because that's how it's going to be the best quality when you go to print too. So I like to say my style is more like kind of like natural looking, more realistic.
More raw,
I know
like raw kind of.
Like I know a lot of photographers incorporate all these different lights in the back, and it looks pretty at certain points, but sometimes it's too much.
Like give an example, like versus like somebody would use a lot of lighting on a certain photo to make the girl look brighter, or like
like for instance, I've seen photographers use a lot of smoke to it looks cool. It looks like
like a fog effect.
Yeah, like a fog effect.
Like a blur.
It looks cool. But it's not something usually like that I would do. And then a lot of photographers also use like hard light, which I don't know. I really don't like how hard light looks. I like to use softer light to kind of soften everything. But people use hard lights because it's more easier to like. They're more trying to make it more convenient for them. Like when they move their equipment and stuff, everything's smaller, lighter. I don't mind putting the extra effort to make it look better and softer.
Yeah, I've seen some photos from like past clients, and you could tell on their face it's like a lot of like
sharp.
Yes,
like
and at some point, it doesn't
exposures.
look real. It looks, I don't know, I don't like that look. But you know, cada persona, cada tiene estilo
Some people might like that
diferentes.
style, and some like more natural, very soft. Some people just like that cutting edge light and
Yeah, cada quien tiene su estilo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Moving on. Do you have any funny stories that you can share? Or things that have happened to you? Like Eric's tripped on the dance floor before. No, he didn't. That would be funny.
But he did stain his shirt.
He did fall in a pool too.
I did fall in the pool, yeah.
We used to do landscaping.
I actually do. So I did a quinceañera in Arizona once, and like occasionally they want me to go into the limo with them and take photos while they're in the limo, and these kids, they started drinking like they just pull out a bottle and they offer me like, hey Pedro, you want a shot?
And you took the shot.
At the time I believe I was the designated like adult. Like so they put me as like the photographer and then the person that takes care of them because they needed an adult to go with them. And dude, I didn't know what to do. But I was like,
Oh my God.
I was like, yeah. I was like,
yeah. They make you're like a vendor essentially. Like you're working. Like they should have had a family member
and
I in charge of these kids.
I was just like I didn't know what to do. I was like, should I tell them it's not okay? Like, I kind of hinted. I was like, no, guys. I think this limo guy might see.
I thought I was trying to be cool, but
literally,
could be the cool uncle.
Que ponernos a rezar instead.
Yeah. But yeah, that quinceañera girl too. She ended up not being able to. She was like just really drunk.
She couldn't dance.
Yeah.
She did. Really? Damn. What trash do you get?
Arizona people.
I know. I thought
party's different than Washington.
Yeah.
Only I would turn up, but you want to do that after.
Yeah. No, it was bad.
That's funny. That's pretty.
But yeah, I think that's the craziest thing that's happened. Really.
You don't see any funny footage when you're like.
Oh yeah, I always see like family members act like because people don't understand. If they act a certain way, I'm gonna have to rewatch all that. Like, and I see everything that happens, and I notice too. Like, sometimes there is occasions where people like fight or like get aggressive.
Reality show.
Yeah, and like when I record, like I don't see like what actually happened, and then I watch the footage and I'm like, oh damn, that's what caused it. Like,
That's how we got there.
Yeah.
Looking up, like, oh.
This is how the police showed up and who got arrested. Then we turned in the footage.
Have they
It's
ever
like,
asked
here's
for
2
that?
terabytes of video.
Has anyone ever asked for stuff? No.
Oh, they'll just be like, can you please not put that in the video?
No, I kind of actually there has been cases where like they're like, oh, can you just cut like that part out, or I provide YouTube links too, so I put them up on YouTube, and sometimes they're like, hey, can you take that down, like we don't want our family to see that.
Yeah, that crazy. Now that you're sharing memories and stuff like that, have you had situations where you've had like a very toxic client in in regards of like somebody who's like very micromanaging, or somebody who's like, we're paying you for this, Pedro, you need to do this and do that? Have you had any experiences like that?
Yeah, I've had a lot of I had a lot of moms. I feel like my age played a part in it too, because they felt like like I was one of their children or something, like trying to tell me what to do. But yeah, there has been cases where like it's not, sometimes they're not even the mom, it's like the deals or the and I've had family members grab my equipment, like my stabilizers when I set it down, and they just grab it and start using it. And I'm just like, yeah, dude. I was like, I'm in shock. I'm just like, what are you doing?
First of all, triggered. He's like,
don't touch my stuff.
First of all, they don't understand how much it costs.
Yeah.
Second of all, that's your stuff. Yeah, what we get a lot of is like another family member's kind of like wanting to tell us what to do, and we're like awkward, like we kind of do it out of respect, but it's always like that, like, who are you?
Yeah.
But we keep it professional here at Reyes Events.
Yeah. No, I always try to keep my cool. Like it takes a lot for me to get mad. I don't really get mad, but there's always a solution to a problem. Like I always figure something out. And then like for instance, the girls, I actually recently started. I bring a vlogging camera for them now, because sometimes they do want to like vlog, and I noticed that's popular now. They want to start their YouTube channel or something. So I have another camera too that I let them use, so they can use that, because I've had instances where they're like, hey, can I use that camera, and then I usually have to say no, or just I can't. But now I have that option for them too.
And then how early on, as people, they might be watching this podcast as they're planning their quinceañera or wedding, how early on should they start booking you? Because I feel sometimes this happens with choreography. They go first with the venue, right? Which it makes sense, right? And then they go with the dress and the food, and then they can usually like choreography or sometimes photography last minute, right? How early on, like as a tip for like potential clients, how early on should they be booking you?
I recommend at least a year in advance, to be able to get all the details, all the pre-sessions done, the prints. A year is more than enough time. It could come down to 6 months, but even then you're pushing it. Okay. Just because I tend to get like reserved really, really fast in the year, especially if it's like all in the same month. But usually about a year. You could do 6 months, but that's kind of pushing it already, because you have to think about the pre-sessions. I do have other bookings that I already reserve. So like sometimes they want to do it at a date, but I don't have that date available. But yeah, I'd say like a year. A year is a good amount of time.
And then with the pre-session and stuff like that, do you guide them through that process of like, hey, sounds like your theme is this, we should maybe do your photo and video here, or like how does that look like say where your client's coming in, how does that initial
how do you guide them
through the process, especially as that might be their first quinceañera and the parents tend to be nervous, and they're like, ay, es que Pedro no sé qué hacer, dónde vamos, tú dime, ya estoy estresado.
I always have in-person consultations. So like I meet with them in person, that way they actually see me and get to know me a little bit. As far as locations and stuff like that, I know a lot of locations around Washington, So I usually send them like a list of 7 to pick from, and then they can just look at them, see what's more convenient, closer to them. Kind of look at the location on Google Maps. Sometimes I do have examples that I show them so they can see like the area and how it looks. As far as like the style, connecting it to the quinceañera, I haven't really had that like come up. Usually they just kind of like want something pretty, like some location pretty.
They'll just say, I want something outside, and then you'll give them a few.
Or like sometimes they want to be inside somewhere, like a building or more architecture look. But no, I haven't had anyone like say like, oh, like this is the theme, can we do something like this? Sometimes they like to do the princessy like castle stuff, and usually I go to either the UW or a couple little other nice buildings that I go to. Olympia, I think it was Kenmore. There's a nice building there too. But yeah, that's really the process. I sit down with them, go through details. I give them my past experiences. Let them know, hey, like, it's really important to get like I recommend people to like I've recommended you guys to multiple times, and I also tell them like don't cheap out on like a makeup person too, because that plays a big role, especially when you take the photos and how it looks.
Te lo echa la culpa a ti.
Yeah.
No, fue Pedro. Que no te dio la luz. Le dije que llevara la otra luz. Yeah, next thing you know, you have the tía screaming at you.
Yeah, they're all like, oh, can you do something on Photoshop or makeup or something?
Yeah.
And
it's just like, well, así la
hicieron.
Unfortunately, no.
Sometimes they try to save money and do it themselves too, but it doesn't look
Yeah.
You could tell the difference. We could straight up tell. Okay, Pedro, so you are a photographer. As a photographer, be honest. What's something that you don't like? Like, you're in the quinceañera industry. You're like, you do photography, but as a photographer, what's something that like gets you annoyed, but you still do it because you're like, okay, it's part of it. Is there something that you're like
providing service?
Either providing service or something.
Something I don't like.
But you still do it because you're like, okay, I'm the photographer, a video person. Like for me, it's like mixing the music. I hate because I have to sit there for hours, listen to the music, and then needing to like edit it, and then mixing it together because it takes some time.
Sometimes it's very time consuming, but I feel like I do like doing it, but sometimes it's like oh man, it's overwhelming. Yeah. When I do because I always do a baby slideshow in the beginning of the videos. Oh my gosh, dude. Sometimes they send me like
1,000 pictures.
Dude, there's so many photos. It's like, I get it. Like, you love your child, but like, the first freaking 20, 30 minutes is just going to be a slideshow. Like, of just like the kid. And then there's no song out there that's that long to cover that. You have to either put it on loop or choose multiple different songs. So yeah, sometimes parents send me, oh my gosh, so many photos.
Send me X amount of photos.
Yeah, I tell them like, hey, send me like
10 photos max.
Maximum, 30, 40 photos. And they just end up just sending us all the photos they have.
Every stage.
And then they say, I couldn't choose.
I know. And it's like, I have to go through them and I have to basically arrange them to where she was a baby and to the point. And they don't send it in order. So like I have to look at the photo, and sometimes they have siblings that look like them. And I'm just like, which one? Like, I have to arrange it all the way. Because if you throw like a photo of her growing and then the baby, it's like I like to do the process of her, so I feel like that's tedious.
Oh my god, yeah, that is, it's like that. Yeah, you're looking at oh wow, okay. Every 2 weeks they took a photo and they sent it. Okay, beautiful.
You're just like, okay, now I gotta put it in order.
Yeah.
Damn it, there's one that she's younger here.
Yeah,
and then you have to redo
back.
Oh my god, yeah, that could definitely, That is stressful. Yeah. I don't know. Is there a specific song that you're tired of hearing? Because I'm assuming in the videos you put songs, right? And you're just like, otra vez that song? Your cousin had that song too. Change it.
I feel like the kind of when I edit the videos, like the valses,
Oh.
like the same song that every quinceañera uses, like I don't even know what they're called. Something like that, yeah. Every time I edit a video, I always have to hear that because I hear the raw audio from the event, so it's like
In the back of your head.
yeah, it's like always like playing in the back, like just same song.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
we get that experience. We get like what
Every year we get like a song that's
that
like
everybody chooses.
Yeah. I think this year was Vals el Amor.
Vals el Amor. We kept hearing Vals el Amor, Golden Hour.
Yeah, was very
It was
popular.
just, and
And for us, it was like so our first group is from 11 to 1. That group had golden hour. Next group 1:30, 3:30. That one had golden hour.
yeah.
It was just like nonstop
It's
hearing.
like the por favor no crezcas.
Oh, the
Oh,
Frescas Mas. Oh, yeah, that's.
Tercer cielo.
Either they're dancing that with dad or mom, or for the ceremony. They ponen las zapatillas
Or for las
and all
abuelas,
of that. Do you find it awkward when you're filming and like they say, que pase la madrina de Corona, and like nobody walks up?
Oh my god, yeah.
And you're like, what do you do in that moment? You're like, do I switch the camera to the quince?
I kind of keep it. So I post a lot of. I have my Ray-Bans that I post BTS, and I kind of just keep it on the mom and dad or whoever's in the center.
Okay.
And what you could tell, like when I'm recording on my Meta glasses, I'm like this all the time, just looking. Yeah, and then finally they get up, and then I just kind of like have to slowly turn to where they're walking. But yeah, I have to look around like all the time, and everyone's like looking like I'm just like confused.
Is you okay? Somebody check on Pedro. Within that same situation, you know, you're moving around. Do you ever get like family members or something que te dice quítate or move? Because like you're moving around to get the different shots, right? And like the moments and stuff like that. Have you had any experiences where like they're
You're in
like
the way or something?
Yeah, or they're trying to block you. And you're like, dude, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the
There's
Yeah,
there's tias that get mad at me, like, cause they want to get their shot on their camera, and I've done a wedding before where like, dude, straight up, like they just go in front of the gimbal, and now people have like a stand for their phone,
Yeah.
and this person just grabs the stand, just puts it right there, and then just like it just blocks everything.
Oh my
like,
God.
And it's like you can't
do that.
take it out like on
Yeah.
editing.
Yeah.
Like there's no way.
There's no way to edit that.
So yeah, there has been like moments where like a tia's like right in front of me, and she goes like this, and then like just sits there just recording the whole time.
Should put down in your contract that you're entitled to smack
Yeah.
them out. Yeah, like if a tia gets in front of my way, you know, unfortunately you will get smacked.
You will get.
No, for me, I always work with the camera person. Obviously, like because Eric on the day of the event, Eric is obviously talking, and then Jasmine's usually like getting the kids ready. So I'm the one that fills the content.
Right.
So like I'll always, you know, prioritize the camera person. Like if they're recording, obviously I don't get in front of there, let them get the shot.
Right.
But I always like talk to them and like, hey, like, what's your angle? You know, I don't want to get in your way or you get in my way. I'm trying to get my shot, you get your shot.
Yeah.
But obviously you want to prioritize them because they're the ones getting paid for that.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like we're there to create the memories,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that they're gonna continue watching like from past, like they're gonna show their children,
Yeah,
their generations down, and it's,
Ancestors.
You gotta
Yeah.
work together, like with the DJ. If there's a coordinator, work with the coordinator, like photographer. Like you gotta work as a team, because if everyone's doing their own thing, it's just gonna be like
Yeah.
all over the place.
No, it gets pretty messy, and same with my photography team. Like, I always tell them like video comes 1st. Like they can they can be in the back and zoom in and get the shot, but I'd rather not have someone like a camera person, and it gets challenging when they hire a photographer someone else, and then they hire me, and it's like
It's like a little beef.
yeah, it's like they're trying to
This camera, and then you take a more expensive camera, and it's like, oh, damn.
A little beef.
So you did say you if they hire someone else for photography, do you usually do just by yourself photo and video, or do you usually have someone else helping you?
If they hire someone for photo, if they pay for photo and video from me, there will be another photographer that I bring out part of my team. But it just depends. Like if they contract me for just video, then I'll just do just video.
Okay.
And then they have their own person that they got for photo.
Okay.
But I'm a good communicator. Like I talk to everybody. Like make sure we're on the same page, and then sometimes they hire like double people, like
Yeah.
like another video and photo person,
Really?
and then it's like okay,
You guys are
Awkward.
fighting who gets the best shot.
yeah, and
wrestling
I've had
time.
instances where I've had to do a quinceañera at a church, but there's 2 other quinceañeras there too, like and there's 2-3 other photographers,
Yeah.
and my setup is I feel like my setup is pretty unique compared to other people. A lot of people have the stand, that stationary stand,
Yeah.
and then they have another person with a wider shot or a tighter shot. But I'm able to move all the time, so I've edited some video before where like I have my wide one way in the back, and I notice like the other photographer getting like irritated, and I'm just like, my bad, bro. Like I'm moving. This is my style. This is how I move.
Yeah.
I move around.
When my client hired me, I
Yeah.
had to get that
Yeah.
shot different angles.
And you could tell he was getting like frustrated. He was like this, and he's scratching his head, and it's like he's going like this.
Maybe he's wondering how is he doing that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's-
He's like, maybe I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
when you get to an event and you look at the other vendors, like, do you already know, okay, it's gonna be a good event because they have those vendors? Or, for example, when we have an event and I know who's gonna be there, I'm like, oh damn. Just when I hear the DJ's name, I'm like, great, it's not gonna be a good event, because then that means me doing the MC, I'm gonna need to do a lot of improvising, and then I tell Jasmine and Ruben, okay, get ready, because there's gonna be a lot of like support that I'm gonna need behind the scenes to make this happen. I wonder, is it the same thing with like photography or video? It might just be like maybe what you mentioned, like the lighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just mostly lighting. Like I when I get to an event, I ask them about their equipment and how they run everything, and then we do test runs. Sometimes there isn't enough time to do test runs, but yeah, I just kind of touch base with them. I never had really a problem with other vendors. I kind of just stay in my own lane and they do their own thing. But DJs is usually the one I communicate the most with, or bandas, or people like that. Yeah.
I know you had mentioned the DJs with their lasers. Are they usually like the lights that dan vuelta like all
Yeah,
crazy?
like all crazy around.
Okay.
Yeah, those will ruin the camera. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
wow.
scary. I forgot about that. Yeah, because I recorded the camera. Yeah, once you mess up the sensor, it like leaves like a
Yeah, it doesn't. You can't fix it.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I forgot about that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's good to. I wanted to know which
I
light
know.
it was because I was like,
That
"We're
one
recording
would-
the camera."
Yeah, no, it really damages it a lot.
There's depending on what type of camera you have, you can get a little sensor cover that goes on your sensor, so like it reflects the laser light, so it doesn't damage it. But it's fairly new, so like I don't know if it's gonna if it works for long term. Like it's
Okay.
something that they just made.
Okay.
But then again, it messes with your color too, because if you put another glass,
It'll-
that messes with like your actual camera quality.
Okay, Pedro. Any final words you have to say to our listeners?
Well, I can't stress enough how important it is to hire someone to do photo and video. It is super important because, like I mentioned, this is something that you're gonna watch when you get older, show your children. Your children is gonna show their children, and it's something that you don't want to miss. Like this is a big occasion for some families. Most of the families, and I just can't stress enough how it should be one of the first things that you book, like photo and video, because that's something that's gonna last forever.
Yeah, people forget that piece of like the memory, right? Where can people find you, and how can people book you?
So you can find me basically on every social media page, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I even hop on Thread now too. Usually, if you just look me up on Facebook under Pedro Sanchez Everett, it's the first one that pops up. On Instagram, it's Pedrosanchezfotografia, all together, no caps. And then TikTok, same thing, Pedrosanchezfotografia.
With the capital P, guys.
Yeah.
Capital P.
And you see his face.
It's gonna be like Pedro.
Oh, we do have a video of him doing that. So we will put it at the end of the podcast. You can see that. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you for watching this podcast. Make sure to follow Pedro Sanchez Fotografia. Also, make sure to follow Reyes Events. If you enjoyed watching this episode, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on our different platforms. And once again, thank you, Pedro, for being here with us.
You so much.
Our padrino, our official podcast padrino, partner of this whole production.
Yes.
So stay tuned. Make sure to follow him on his different platforms and follow us.
Make
Support.
sure and check out his work. It's very amazing. We've worked with him before for our Reyes Academy. So if you also want to look at that, you can go ahead and check that out on his Instagram too.
So see you guys in the next video. And nos vemos. Bye.